Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. Let's get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are mixed this morning, with S&P futures down 0.02%, Dow futures up 0.02%, and NASDAQ futures down 0.03%. While, yes, technically they're mixed, they're also pretty much just drifting as a rebound in Chinese tech shares stalled and markets move into a holding pattern ahead of the Federal Reserve's Jackson Hole Policy Symposium this Thursday. The hope going into the Jackson Hole event will be that it provides more insight on the Fed's thinking in regards to monetary stimulus amid a takeoff in inflation, but still mixed economic data. Reports from purchasing managers globally have shown the return of concern about the outlook for growth, with U.S. business activity slowing to the weakest in 8 months. It's worth to note that Fed Chair Jerome Powell has already initiated formal talks on a path toward pulling back on the bond buying program. This may be something he divulges further on the schedule of at this Thursday's event. Treasury yields are flat and the dollar has remained relatively unchanged against major peers. Elsewhere in markets, oil has steadied after its biggest two-day gain since November. Iron ore futures continue to rebound from last week on optimism that China won't allow steel demand to collapse while its economic prospects remain uncertain. Over in Europe, the Stoxx 600 index has made modest gains, and over in Asia, a Hong Kong gauge of the Chinese tech names struggled to extend this week's rally amid lingering concerns about Beijing's crackdown on private industries, and U.S.-China tension is back in focus. Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler pledged to enforce a 3-year deadline for U.S.-listed Chinese firms to permit inspections of their financial audits or face delisting. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Well, Shane, I've been watching the S&Ps and watching the Dow. The Dow stocks are pretty much higher, so that's a positive. The S&Ps are drifting, kind of directionless, little volatility. Realistically, all eyes are on Friday's FOMC meeting. I just want to point out, you can't look past Friday morning's release of the non-farms payroll report. That's going to be a big market-making move on Friday as well. Key catalysts today. Let's take a look at the things that have been happening. Congress passed that budget blueprint and set forth a late September vote for the $1 trillion infrastructure bill. That's positive. There's also positive news on Johnson & Johnson, where they came out and they said their booster shot has generated, positive immune response in early trials. China, they reopened that port that they closed down due to the COVID scare. We have this morning's durable goods report coming out soon. That could be a nice catalyst. I'm looking overseas, and the action's essentially muted. Low volatility, low movement. China's Shanghai did okay. They were up significantly, but the other markets were flat to lower. Oil's pulling back a little bit after yesterday's big 3% spike. And, the Biden administration said yesterday that it's taking steps to restart the federal oil and gas leasing program in the next week. And they plan to hold a Gulf of Mexico auction as soon as October. So that's a positive. And then, I'm taking a look at the earnings releases. The earnings releases were positive last night and this morning. So these are some good factors, Shane.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about earnings to watch, starting with earnings that we've seen come in so far. It looks like Best Buy really did well. Bill, why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, Best Buy did well. They beat by $1.13 on higher revenue. Remember, it was one of my stocks of the day recently. The retail sector has just been on fire, and Best Buy really came through. But let's take a look at some of the other names. Urban Outfitters, that's ticker URBN, under Richard Boyd Nancy. They delivered a 50-cent beat on higher revenue. Nordstrom's, that's ticker JWN, John William Nancy. They delivered a 21-cent beat on higher revenue. Intuit, that's a ticker INTU, India Nancy Tom Under. They delivered a 38-cent beat on higher revenue. Medtronic, that's ticker MDT, Michael David Tom. They delivered a 9-cent beat on higher revenue. Toll Brothers, I was really happy to see this. Good news for the housing sector. Ticker TOL, Tom Oscar Larry. They delivered a 33-cent beat on higher revenue. Dick's Sporting Goods came out this morning. DKS, David Kilo Sam, another one of my recent stocks of the day, they beat by $2.38. And here's one that I'm a little upset about because I thought they were coming out this afternoon. It's Shoe Carnival. That's ticker SCVL, Sam, Charlie, Victor, Larry. These guys delivered an 83-cent beat on higher revenue when they released this morning. That was a nice positive beat for the company. So there was a lot of good earnings, and you see a lot of good gains coming off these earnings releases, Shane.
Let's tell traders what to expect as far as upcoming earning announcements.
Well, we got a pretty nice calendar. Let's start with Splunk, the cloud firm. That's ticker SPLK. Sam, Paul, Larry, Kilo. Splunk is expected to lose 68 cents. But the expected move there is 7.95%. Network appliances, that's NTAC, Nancy, Tom, Apple, Paul. They're releasing this afternoon. They're expected to earn 95 cents. The expected move here is 5.82%. Snowflake, this is ticker SNOW, Snow, Sam, Nancy, Oscar, William. Snowflake is expected to lose 14 cents. The expected move here is 8.16%. Very high valuations for Snowflake still. Ultra Beauty, that's ticker ULTA, under Larry, Tom, Apple. Their EPS estimate is $2.50. The expected move there is 6.53%. Autodesk, that's ticker ADSK, Apple, David, Sam, Kilo. They're expected to earn $1.12, and the expected move there is 4.74%. Salesforce.com, that's ticker CRM, Charlie, Richard, Mary. They're expected to earn 91 cents this quarter, and the expected move here is 5.53%. Box, that's Box Incorporated, ticker BOX, Boy, Oscar, X-Ray. They're expected to earn 18 cents. There's a lot going on in this company, but the expected move here is 9.92%. Pure Storage, that's ticker PSTG, Paul, Sam, Tom, Grace. They're expected to make 5 cents this quarter. The expected move is 11.86%. With housing data up, people use storage units. PSTG has been a real benefit of this trend. Williams Sonoma, they're also releasing this afternoon. They're expected to make 26 cents. The expected move here is 10.46%. Tomorrow morning, we have Burlington Stores. That's ticker BURL, Boy, Under, Richard, Larry. They're expected to earn $1.43, and the expected move here is 5.42%. Dollar General, that's ticker DG, David Grace. Their EPS estimate is $2.57, and the expected move there is 4.20%. Smucker's Jam, JD Smuckers, that's ticker SJM, Sam, John, Mary. They're expected to earn $1.85, and the expected move there is 5.15%. Dollar Tree, that's ticker DLTR, David, Larry, Tom, Richard. They're expected to earn $1, and the expected move here is 5.77%. Rounding out is Abercrombie and Fitch, that's ticker ANF, Apple, Nancy, Frank. The expected move, the expected EPS is 73 cents, and the expected move there is 11.57%. But that's what I have for earnings coming out, Shane.
Moving into our economic reports, Bill, tell us what we're seeing there.
8:30 a.m., the durable goods report. This is a key report. It's a major report, could be a real market mover. 10 a.m., we have the State Street Investor Confidence figures coming out. Also at 10 a.m., we have the Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Johnson & Johnson, ticker JNJ. Shares of Johnson & Johnson have gained 0.7% in pre-market today after the company shared interim clinical data that indicates Americans who received its single-dose COVID-19 vaccine should get a second dose. 2 phase 1, phase 2 studies showed that people who received its shot found that a second dose boosted antibody levels. Other COVID vaccine news, BioNTech, ticker BNTX, and Pfizer, ticker PFE. Taiwan is set to receive COVID vaccine shots early as China's delayed approval has left a surplus available. Elsewhere on the tape, Merck, ticker MRK. Its vaccine for pneumonia has met key immunogenicity and safety endpoints in its study in healthy infants. Merck's share price is up 0.17% in pre-market. In other news, FibroGen, ticker FGEN, has reported positive results for the phase 2 trial of its treatment for chemotherapy-induced anemia. FibroGen's share price is up 3.22% in pre-market. News on Toshiba, ticker TOSYY. Toshiba is in talks with at least 4 global private equity firms, including KKR, ticker KKR, Blackstone, ticker BX, Bain, ticker BCSF, and the Canadian investment firm Brookfield to seek their ideas for its new strategy. While this isn't meant to be a platform for a formal buyout bid, it is a step indicating that Toshiba is engaging with potential bidders since shareholders ousted its chairman in June after the company was found to have colluded with the Japanese government to put pressure on foreign investors. Elsewhere on the tape, Phillips 66, ticker PSX, is in discussions with a potential buyer on the sale of its 255,600 barrel per day Alliance refinery in Louisiana. A representative of the company stated that they expect the marketing process to continue over the coming months. Lastly, for me, one on HP Enterprise, ticker HPE. The company has unveiled a new testbed supercomputer to prepare critical workloads for future exascale systems that will deliver up to 4 times faster performance than the current supercomputer model. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific sectors. I'm looking for, industry sectors, oil, gas, semiconductors. I'm looking for news on, specific events such as earnings or buybacks, and newsword just helps me, find these stories very quickly so I can execute. So it's a great service for this. In terms of the sectors that I'm watching, I'm starting off with a FANG because there's a lot of news there. President Biden is expecting to host executives from the major technology firms, financials, and energy companies today for a summit on national cybersecurity. This could be a nice play for cybersecurity stocks today. Google, that's ticker GOOG, Grace, Oscar, Grace. Their division, Waymo, which is a self-driving car division, it's operating driver-supported robo-taxis in San Francisco for selected riders. It's an important test for Google's sister company to prove that its technology works, and it's being done in a major city, so that's a nice positive for shares in Google. Netflix, ticker NFLX. One thing I just want to point out is this stock's been up 8 consecutive days, and it's on pace for its longest winning streak since January 2018. Apple and Google, there was a South Korea's parliament committee voted to curb Google and Apple's commission dominance on their app stores. Tesla, that's ticker TSLA. Elon Musk actually came out yesterday and he agreed that their beta 9.2 version of their full self-drive does not do a great job, and that engineers are trying to do their best to make it better and more efficient. Going over to my Dow Jones 30 alert, I see that Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan have been hired as underwriters for the investment firm TPG's, Tom Paul Grace, potential IPO. A lot of fees are made in these underwriting deals. In terms of the option market, here are some stocks that I'm just expecting to have increasing volume tonight. Snowflake, ticker SNOW. Ulta Beauty, ticker ULTA. Splunk, ticker SPLK. Burlington Stores, ticker BURL. Dell Technologies, ticker DELL. Dollar Tree, ticker DLTR. Dollar General, ticker DG. VMware, ticker VMW. Gap Stores, ticker GPS. And Marvel Technologies, that's ticker MRVL. In terms of share buyback news, Dick's Sporting Goods, they delivered that really solid beat. Guess what? They also are doing, a buyback. Dick's Sporting Goods raised their minimum expected 2021 share repurchasing to $400 million, up from $200 million. In terms of shareholders meeting, Virgin Galactic Holdings is having a shareholders meeting today. This is scheduled to start at 12 p.m. Eastern time today. But that's what I have in terms of stories for today, Shane.
Let's talk about our Trade Talk picks for today. I'm picking Ulta Beauty, ticker ULTA. This is an earnings play. It's got an EPS estimate of $2.42 after the market closed today. Ulta is likely to display year-over-year improvements in the top and bottom lines. And so major analysts are upgrading their targets. You got Deutsche Bank upgrading. You've got JP Morgan upgrading. So they're in line to do well. And we've seen a lot of similar markets doing well. We see clothes doing well. We see sporting goods doing well. Is makeup going to do well? I think it will. And Ulta's been doing well. It's got that partnership it's got going on with Target that's been moving forward. We've seen more activity on earlier this month. So this is something that I expect to raise higher today. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
This morning I'm going with NTAP. That's Network Appliances, ticker NTAP, Nancy, Tom, Apple, Paul. I feel good here. They delivered a nice beat last quarter, and another one appears to be in the cards. I look at the expected move here for the stock price. It's 5.82%, which is a solid move. I review what the CEO said, and he went out there and he said our momentum underscores our value to customers in a hybrid multi-cloud world. We are gaining share in key storage markets, and our public cloud services are at a scale where they are positively impacting total company's billing and revenue growth. That came from the CEO last quarter on their earnings report. He went on to say our focused execution last year has set us up well for 2022, and he's excited about the year ahead and confident in their ability to grow revenue while delivering operating leverage as they support their clients on their cloud and digital transformational journeys. So that's a positive sentiment. You look at the brokers, they're positive on the stock. I think a beat is in the cards, and I'm expecting NTAP, ticker NTAP, Nancy, Tom, Apple, Paul, to trade higher today.
Moving into what's hot off the press, the news that's hitting the tape as we speak, moving the stocks today. Bill, which are the headlines we should be letting traders know about?
Here's one on Apple from Evercore. Evercore feels that Apple's advertising business could grow to $20 billion by 2025.
Achilles Therapeutics, ticker ACHL, has announced grants of U.S. and European patents.
Here's one on Garmin, ticker GRMN. Grace, Richard, Michael, Nancy. Malibu Boats is going to be using Garmin displays for access windsurf and wakeboarding boats.
Here's one on ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil, ticker XOM. Its affiliate plans to produce renewable diesel to help reduce transportation emissions in Canada.
Best Buy, ticker BBY, declared a quarterly dividend of 70 cents. That's a 2.3% yield payable. The record date is September 14th.
Nexstar, ticker NXST, and SportsGrid announced a multi-year agreement to launch SportsGrid Network.
Disney, ticker DIS, Disney World was able to get the unions in Florida to agree on coronavirus vaccinations.
Mercado Libre, ticker MELI, has acquired Kongu on undisclosed terms.
Now, here's one on Johnson & Johnson. We know the positive news about what they came out with this morning on the COVID shot. However, they still have that talcum powder lawsuit going on, and the claimants are, going to court in Texas asking the judge to block Johnson & Johnson's spinoff / bankruptcy plan. Ticker FLXN, Frank, Larry, X-Ray, Nancy. Flexon Therapeutics expands early stage study of its drug candidate for post-operative pain management.
BBTV unit Yobo has signed a deal with the Orchard, which is a unit of Sony Music Entertainment. Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing this morning, Shane.
Same here. So that's what's hot off the press. Traders, keep in mind you can receive the same stories we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out. Get a free trial. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Tuesday. I had Cigna, ticker CI. It opened at $210.19. But this was one where we said, let's wait on it and let's get in under $210. That opportunity came quick for just a brief moment at the open when the stock was as low as $209.49. And from there, the share price went up to as high as $213.50 for a 1.91% gain. From there, the stock moved lower, but there were many chances to get in at the 213 plus range before the stock closed at $211.89. So still higher. Overall, great move for us. How'd yours end up doing, Bill?
Well, I went with Salesforce.com, which is ticker CRM, Charlie, Richard, Michael. Stock opened up at $261.92, and it hit a high of $262.50. But ultimately, it did close a little lower to $259.66. You look at it in the pre-market, it's back to where it was near yesterday's open at $261.90. So it essentially was flat. Earnings should be positive. The real concern here, to me, is their ownership of Snowflake. Which I think Snowflake's not going to be able to come through with a really stellar beat. but Salesforce should. So it depends on how the market reacts to the Snowflake, CRM, both releasing earnings this afternoon. But Salesforce.com is definitely one to be watching today.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.